Coming up, learn how a local food pantry is seeing greater demand since the pandemic.
Then follow the Omaha Lancers as they start their season.
Finally, explore how fashion trends are impacting consumers and designers alike.
All of this and more on the Omaha News.
Good afternoon, I'm Jenna Jansen.
And I'm Morgan Gardner.
Voting for the upcoming general elections has already begun. Reporter Ben Badafarano says that for Douglas County election officials, this is the home stretch of a long journey.
Election Day is less than 3 weeks away, and the Douglas County Election Commission has been preparing Omaha for months. They've been hiring poll workers, sending out early voting ballots, approving polling sites, and generally making sure the public has access to smooth, safe, and accurate elections. While the Election Commission has 14 full-time staff, this summer they had to hire around 50 additional workers to process ballot petitions. Douglas County Election Commissioner Brian Cruz says the process is a sprint.
And we worked not only days, but we had a nighttime shift, and then we also worked weekends too, because we have a certain time frame, 40 days from the time we get those from the Secretary of State's office. We have to have those done.
Cruz estimates that for election night, the commission will hire an additional 150 full and part-time temp staff to count ballots. On Election Day, Douglas County residents will cast their ballots at over 200 polling sites. The Rod Roden Center at UNO's Mammal Hall will be one such location. Each location is assigned depending on where you live, so make sure you check on the Douglas County Election Commissioner's website before you go. Cruz says that the most tedious aspect of election prep is checking that all the ballot information is correct. This includes proofing offices up for election, checking name spelling, and confirming ballot rotations. The Douglas County Election Board Coordinator, Brandon Olson, is responsible for managing the county's 3,000 poll workers.
With voter ID changes, because that was a procedure change, so that was something we had to update for our training. We did a new poll worker training video shoot, because that online training incorporates videos and quizzes.
While the new voter ID law adds some time to check-in and ballot processing, Olson says that poll workers have trained hard to streamline the process. For the Omaha News, I'm Ben Badafarano.
Don't have time during the day to ask questions? The Douglas County Election Commission will be open for additional evening and weekend hours starting on Tuesday, October 22nd.
The last few years have seen a steady rise in the general cost of living, groceries being no exception. Reporter Abigail Gosek says the need for food assistance within Omaha continues to grow.
With grocery prices rising and wages stagnating, more families than ever are struggling to put food on the table. Together Omaha Pantry Manager Alexis Schauberg says the Choice Pantry has seen greater demand since the COVID-19 pandemic.
Pre-pandemic, we had lower numbers that were pretty consistent, and we had thought perhaps that would go down, the numbers, and they are only ever just climbing.
The financial impact of the pandemic left many households behind, with 1 in 11 people facing hunger today, according to the Food Bank for the Heartland. Schauberg mentions the increase in food provided this year.
Between this pantry and our Council Bluffs pantry, we did approximately 2.5 million pounds of food that we handed out in the year of 2023. And this year, we are at almost the same amount halfway through the year.
With the ever-rising need for food assistance within Omaha increasing every year, Together Omaha is just one food bank within the community that is able to help the people who need it the most.
Together Omaha's Choice Pantry typically sees about 85 to 100 households a day. The pantry provides a variety of food options set up in the style of a grocery store. People can walk through and pick the items they'd like to take home with them.
So we have bread, we have produce, and we have protein, which is essentially frozen meat or meals, prepared meals, that we pick up throughout the week from stores around Omaha.
With as many as 50% of people facing hunger unlikely to qualify for the Supplemental Assistance Nutrition Program, or SNAP, according to Feeding America, food assistance programs within Omaha are available to help put food on the table.
Hey Abby, does Together Omaha offer any other services for the Omaha community?
Coming up, learn about the upcoming holidays in the Jewish community.
Then discover how to support loved ones with eating disorders during Halloween.
Wasn't on, so they got to
perform, communicate, College of Communication, Fine Arts, and Media.
Explore the historic Blackstone District in Omaha, Nebraska. With over a dozen restaurants, bars, and social settings, you can experience everything the iconic district has to offer. Eat, drink, socialize, and enjoy the day or night here in Blackstone.
Nearly 3,000 student athletes competing in 19 varsity sports from 9 institutions. Compete for nationally ranked teams to become academic All-Americans and NCAA champions. Nearly 100,000 students and more than 800,000 alumni celebrate their schools as they rise to reach the summit. The Summit League, where tomorrow's leaders reach the summit today.
The University of Nebraska at Omaha's bookstore is home to more than books. The UNO bookstore accommodates all students' needs with phone and laptop repairs at the iFix UNO station or free residence hall delivery. The bookstore, located in the Millvale Student Center, is full of Maverick merchandise. Find sweatshirts for chilly Nebraska days or cozy UNO mugs for every coffee fix. Shop anytime at unobookstore.com.
Excitement is in the air for Omaha hockey fans as the Lancers kick off their season with a thrilling home opener and a new head coach at the helm. Reporter Connor Schmidt has the story.
The Omaha Lancers kicked off their 2024-25 season in a thrilling home opener against the Chicago Steel, introducing a fresh face behind the bench and setting a determined tone for the months ahead. Fans filled the Liberty First Credit Union Arena in Ralston, ready to welcome the team's new head coach, Colton St. Clair. Coach Clair, an experienced leader as a former player and coach, stepped into his role last week with clear goals: instill a new level of intensity, raise the team's competitive standards, and bring a winning team back to Omaha. He says his coaching philosophy will help the team achieve that.
Just compete, structure, skill, and passion. That's how we're going to play. At the end of each game, hopefully you just see guys building and really see our identity on the ice. We want to bring a fast-paced, physical, and just a winning hockey team back to Omaha.
All of these features were on display as Coach Clair starts his head coaching career with the Lancers 2-0, as the team took down the Chicago Steel 2-0 on Saturday and had a commanding 5-1 win on Sunday. Despite the sudden head coaching change, the players are determined to win games and make the playoffs. David Deputy, one of the team captains for the Lancers, tells us how the guys are handling the coaching change.
You know, it was a tough kind of thing to see our old head coach go, but we're moving on. We got a new coach here, and we're looking to win with him.
After a disappointing 16, 43, and 3 record last season, the Lancers are ready for a bounce-back year with their new head coach.
Yeah, this team has confidence. You know, like we're a good team, so we're gonna show that here soon.
For the Omaha News, I'm Connor Schmidt.
The Lancers look to continue their win streak as they travel to Dubuque, Iowa to take on the Fighting Saints on Friday, October 18th.
Autumn is a time of year in which the Jewish community can come together and take comfort in the holidays. Reporter Ashton Kay explores 3 celebrations and the rich cultural history.
Tonight will mark the start of Sukkot, a week-long Jewish holiday. Jane Rips is the executive director of the Nebraska Jewish Historical Society, which preserves the history of Nebraska's Jewish community.
Sukkot is what they call the Festival of Booths. Jews are commanded to eat outside in huts. Many people build them at their houses, and then you invite people over and you have people for dinner.
Last week saw the observance of Yom Kippur, a more somber holiday of remembrance. It concludes the 10-day period of penance, which starts with Rosh Hashanah. Despite both being Abrahamic religions, there are a number of fundamental differences between Christian America and Jewish America. meaning that many people are unfamiliar with some of the aspects of these holidays.
This is a picture of American soldiers during World War II having Shabbat services in Italy. The Sabbath, which comes at sundown Friday until sundown Saturday, is the most important holiday because it's celebrated every week.
Annetta Van de Kamp Wright says that her favorite Jewish holiday is Passover.
You have to get ready for it. You have to work for it. You have to clean your house, clean your kitchen, get all the chametz, which is everything that has yeast in it, out of your house. So one by one, we try to eat it all, we get rid of it. The final week before Passover, we have a box in the kitchen that has all the leftover chametz. And we make really strange meals with it.
Rosh Hashanah is the Jewish New Year, meaning that we are at the beginning of the year 5785 according to the Hebrew calendar. The Hebrew calendar is based off of the cycles of the moon, so for the holidays to remain during the correct seasons, there are a number of leap years necessary. For the Omaha News, I'm Ashton Kay. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Ashton. Halloween is almost here, and for many, that means candy is everywhere you look.
Yeah, and for people with eating disorders, all that candy can be a huge challenge.
Recently, you've been looking into how this time of year can be tough for those struggling with food issues, right?
Yeah. I explored how Halloween can trigger unhealthy behaviors for those struggling with eating disorders and what families and friends can do to help. Let's take a look. For many during the Halloween season, the wide selection of candy to eat is exciting, but it can also be a trigger for those struggling with restrictive eating or binge eating behaviors. Director of Collegiate and Telehealth Partnerships at ERC Pathlight and psychologist Dr. Casey N. Talent says the abundance of candy can lead to unhealthy thoughts and actions.
I think it can certainly exacerbate symptoms of eating disorders for those who are more on the restrictive side. And it can also exacerbate eating disorder symptoms for those who may have a tendency to binge eat or have binge eating disorder, where there is such a focus on like the amount and lots of candy and lots of those pieces.
By focusing on non-food related activities like decorating pumpkins and ensuring that all food, including candy, are met with balance and not restriction.
It is absolutely okay to have a candy bar. It is absolutely okay to have, a piece of candy. And the message can actually be more dangerous when it shifts to those are foods that you should stay away from, because then it stigmatizes food. It makes food dangerous, which can make it more attractive. And it can also make it, a scary, dangerous thing. And we don't want to stigmatize food in general. There is room for all food in our diets.
The National Eating Disorder Association reports that 30 million Americans will suffer from an eating disorder at some point in their lives, with Halloween being a particularly tough time. If you or a loved one is struggling with an eating disorder, support is available. For more information on how to get help, visit nationaleatingdisorders.org.
Next on the Omaha News, see how a dance teacher is introducing a new lesson to the Omaha dance scene.
Then learn how a local organization is supporting artists through accessible programs.
There seems to be like this gathering right here, really great minds and really great ideas.
I think it's a great moment, to teach a UL student.
Being here, I get like a jump start on my journalism career.
I found a lot of people that are interested in like the same things as me.
Sort of a lifetime changing career for me and the best way it could happen.
I never thought I'd be standing in the clouds looking down on the ancient ruins of the Incan Empire. I never thought I'd live among the street artists in Valparaiso. I never thought I'd make friends that would last a lifetime.
Adventure's out there, and as Mavericks, it's up to us to find it.
Stop thinking, start doing. Visit educationabroad.unomaha.edu.
The 13th Floor magazine is a student-run campus literary journal that features poetry, creative nonfiction, fiction, microfiction, screenplay, and visual art from UNO students, alumni, faculty, and staff. It is produced by the students in the Writers' Workshop Literary Magazine course. New issues of the magazine are published every spring with a public launch party to celebrate its release.
Welcome to Spotlight Omaha, your go-to arts, culture, and entertainment news around the Omaha metro area. Good afternoon, I'm Riley McCall. Today we're talking about swing dance in a community art space. Dancing at local dance hall and saloon that has folks two-stepping to learn more. I take you to Bushwhackers to see how one teacher likes to teach West Coast swing. Colorado transplant Michelle Benham loves to dance. She brought her passion to Omaha nearly 17 years ago. Her most recent art form is one that is rooted in the 1940s but has made its way into country music. West Coast swing requires a partner and conforms to the style of today's fast-paced beat, dancing to Keith Urban, Devon Cole, and Niall Horan. As a dancer nearly half her life, Benham now shares her love of dancing with others at Bushwhackers every Wednesday night.
And I want them to basically just get outside of themselves and enjoy the social aspects.
Says that she wants participants to have fun while learning a new, unique skill. Since West Coast swing is reliant on a partner, Benham teaches with her friend Harish Komani. He says together they're excited to share their love for this style with others.
Been working from quite a while, so she has a ton of experience that brings to the lessons, and then we just share each other's knowledge, and then try to work on how to make the students understand the lesson. So it's great working with Michelle.
According to their West Coast Swing Wednesday Facebook page, the 322 members dance for fun and even to compete.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And the way
Bushwhackers holds West Coast Swing dance lessons every Wednesday at 6 p.m. for the rest of the year and will go back to 8 p.m. in January. The Union for Contemporary Art is dedicated to supporting artists and empowering the community through creative. Reporter Juan Salazar takes us inside to show how they aim to make a difference.
The Union for Contemporary Art is not just a space for creating art, it's a hub for building community in Omaha.
Juan Salazar here, and I'm at the Union for Contemporary Art in Omaha, where its mission is to uplift the local art community and provide spaces and resources for artists to create and collaborate. Today, we're going to dive into how the Union is reshaping the artistic landscape in Omaha.
The design and print manager, Dan Crane, says the Union has plenty of programs being offered, such as the Co-op Studios, Local Artist Studio, Fellowship, the Abundance Garden, the Performing Arts Collective Theater, youth programming, and also community outreach.
Again, just like have access to technicians and equipment for an affordable price that they really, it's difficult to come by in other places.
These resources are there for anyone in the community. Local artist Paris Gaines gives us insight to what the Union means to him.
It's like a watering hole for creatives. There's a lot of different people from different walks of life and then have different disciplines, but everybody can come here and it's kind of like a collective to make sure that art is just amplified in Omaha in general.
Paris explains how he plans to teach a class at the Union next year to continue to encourage community involvement. For the Omaha News, I'm Juan Salazar.
The Union has workshops throughout the year for those interested in art forms from sewing, pottery, photography, and more. Orchard & Gardens is currently showcasing its Wicked Plants display and exhibit showing poisonous and intoxicating plants that are commonly grown in our gardens. This exhibit will be open through early November. Join us in 2 weeks for more Spotlight Omaha highlights.
Coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Faded press to a full.
There's a unique educational experience right here in Omaha. With access to top-rated programs, in-demand degrees, and a worldwide community of graduates, UNO prepares students for life, wherever it may lead. From Omaha to Italy to Uganda to Japan, Mavericks are working in communities around the globe. So where will a degree from UNO take you? UNO, access to exceptional, access to the world. Learn more at unomaha.edu.
As clothing becomes easier to mass produce and technology becomes more widespread, trend cycles speed up at a rapid pace. Reporter Sapphire Bennett explores what that means for both consumers and designers.
If you turn your cell phone off, it may seem like we're still living in 2005. Low-waisted jeans are back and cheetah prints considered fashionable again. Fashion trend cycles come and go, typically as the seasons change. One style's in, spring comes, the old one's out. But these cycles have sped up drastically over the past few years, thanks to fast-paced social medias and consumers' need for constant newness. Part of the reason why trends are speeding up is that clothes are being produced at twice the rate they were 20 years ago. Because the clothing isn't as high quality, they are likely to be thrown out sooner, leading to the desire for something new to come next. In this abundance of styles and trends, local fashion designers are faced with the decision to follow the trends, stick to their own thing, or do a little of both. Omaha designer Alex Graff says it's more important to focus on quality clothing rather than trendiness.
We need more slow fashion people investing more into garments that they wear longer and not just a couple bucks for a piece of fabric they're going to throw out at the end of the night.
While quick trend cycles may lead to overconsumption and the constant urge to keep up with popularity, they can also be seen as a reason to pursue your own creative expression. Something that becomes unpopular may have its chance to shine again. 2016's Chevron, no one's forgot about you. Forever 21 employee Trinity Bonaparte says that different generations desiring nostalgia may be a big reason for trends changing.
I think it's like nostalgic. You know, I won't say like we're old, but people who are older want to still feel like they are in touch with their childhood. It feels good. It caters to the inner baby in us. Like, yeah, so I love that the trends are back.
No one really can predict what trend cycle will come next, but they can try to balance it with more sustainable styles. In our world where fast fashion is everywhere, sustainability is more important and consequential than ever. For the Omaha News, I'm Sapphire Bennett.
It could be a matter of weeks or even days before the next fashion trend takes over. Here's a question for you, Morgan. What's the key in driving innovation in business?
Well, it's not just about bold ideas. At Blue Cross Blue Shield Nebraska, they believe it's about the people behind those ideas, especially when it comes to fostering a diverse and inclusive workforce.
That's right, and you've been exploring how women at Blue Cross Blue Shield are breaking barriers and shaping the healthcare leadership.
Exactly. I spoke with leaders at the company who are not only leading with the purpose, but also putting people and diversity at the center of their business. Every breakthrough starts with bold ideas. However, every leader knows that the strength of a business comes from its people, diverse, driven, and determined to succeed.
We are the champion for we are a champion for the health and well-being of our members and the communities we serve.
At Blue Cross Blue Shield, women are breaking barriers and shaping the future of business while leading with a purpose.
I think we really put people at the center of our business because we believe if we do that, our business will thrive. And so that starts with really inviting diversity of thought to the table.
To further explore how taking a step forward fosters diversity within the organization, Jay Warren explains her insights on the importance of health, equity, and inclusion in business practices.
As we think about being in a position to best serve our members and serve the changing demographics I was talking about, diversity, equity, and inclusion is just really, really important because we need to make sure that we are being proactive in addressing anything that would inhibit or prohibit someone from being able to access the care that they need.
Diversity is more than a goal. It's recognition that every voice matters, every story has value, and every person deserves a seat at the table.
We just really want to make sure that folks feel like they're connected to each other, but then connected to the company as well.
As Blue Cross Blue Shield Nebraska continues to promote diversity and inclusion, it's clear that women are shaping the future of healthcare and leadership. That's all from us today.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X at UNO The Omaha News, or find our website for even more stories at UNOOmahaNews.com.
From all of us here at UNO Television, thanks for watching.